improvising and working free, but as we've talked about, if Chris Hatcher has one weakness, it's throwing on the run, and that time just didn't get enough under it, and North Alabama comes up with a big, costly turnover.
Cody Gross is under the center. We haven't seen Tyrone Rush touch the ball in several plays. Let's see if he gives it to him here. Rush is going to give it to Rush right up the middle. Gross is going to give it to Rush right up the middle. He's going to gain 3 yards on the play. And George Parsons is in on the stop. Tony Hill is in on the stop. Edward Mitchell, Shea Williams are there to knock down the 3rd leading rusher in the Gulf South Conference. He's going to pick up 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Ball's on the far side hash mark at the 33-yard line, and the Blazers in 5:59 to go in the first half. Valdosta State leading 14-7.
Tyrone Rush is appropriately named, isn't he, Mike?
Is he ever? His mom must have knew he was going to be a football player, and he is a great one. Cody Gross is under the center, looks around at Blazers. They rush 4. Got an eye backfield behind him. This time he's going to pitch it deep to Rush. Rush looking for room, finding none. He's knocked down at the 29-yard line. They're going to be far short of the first down. Edward Mitchell, George Parsons in there, Shea Williams in there. For the Blazers, the Blazer D, the hombre defense of Mike Majors, and it's going to be 3rd and 5 at the 30-yard line. Remember, this came about. They got the great field position as a result of Chris Hatcher's 2nd interception of the game and his 7th intercept of the year. Of course, the guy's only thrown 34 touchdown passes, too. You got to throw that in every time you talk about intercepts. 5 minutes to go in the half. Blazers lead 14-7. Big 3rd down stop and play right here as the Blazers rush 4. Here come the black shirts with the black hats. And they're motioning the crowd to get up and get with them here. And the D is really torn it up. Here they come. Gross is going to keep it himself. Down the line, pitches it to Rush. He dropped it on the ground. Here come the Blazers. Blazers ball. Blazers ball. Blazers come up with the football. After Rush couldn't hang on, Valdosta State is able to come up with the football, and Mike Gibson is going to come limping off the field, but the Blazers are going to get it right back on the turnover.
Yeah, great play there. Good pressure defense, and that's what you got to have. You got to use your quickness. You got to use your strengths, and that's where the Blazers can do it. They got great quickness. They get away with a blitz there, a little outside stunt. They force Cody Gross to pitch it really before he's ready, and with somebody hanging all over him, and he makes a bad pitch, and the Blazers get it right back.
Here's Hatch in the gun. He threw the intercept. Now they fumble it. He's got it right back almost exactly the same position at the 32-yard line. Goes it over the middle and another intercept. Another intercept at the 37-yard line. Threw it right into the arms of the D-back. And the man who picked it off was Gerald Clemens, the junior from Griffin, Georgia. And Hatch, just like that, turns it around again. His 3rd interception of the evening.
Yeah, he's a little disappointed there. And but Hal Mumme picks him right up, pats him on the back, says, hey, it's okay. But North Alabama, I tell you, for a team that's last in the Gulf South Conference in passing, coming in and pass defense, rather, they are playing well. They are really blanketing a lot of those Blazer receivers.
Ball's at the 42-yard line of the Blazers, and just like that, the team's trading turnovers. 4:31 to go in the half, and the Blazers still lead 14-7. Cody Gross is getting behind him. Satterfield and Tyrone Rush. Long time with the snap count. Wants to use all that 25-second clock. He wants to throw the ball down the field. Got a man down there. Is he going to come back? No, he's not going to catch it, and they throw the flag. Throw the flag against Gibson. He was down there face-to-face, nose-to-nose with the intended pass catcher, and then had the interference flag thrown against him down at the 18-yard line.
Well, I think what they got, they're going to get him because he didn't turn his head back to the football. He had good coverage running with him, but he never looked back for the football. He kept running, and I think that's what prompted the flag.
Hal Mumme's over there, motioning his hand over his head, saying it was an uncatchable ball anyway. In that case, there should not have been an interference flag thrown, but they're going to throw the flag, and it's going to be a penalty against Valdosta State University from the, well, it's going to be from the where the ball was at the line of scrimmage, all the way to the 28-yard line. 1st and 10, ball's in the center of the field at the 28-yard line of the Blazers. 4:25 to go, and that's a costly penalty against the hombre defense. Cody Gross with an eye backfield behind him, one man out wide to the left side, and it's Michael Edwards. Gross is under the center, just a sophomore. Blazers rush 4. Gross is going to give it out right side this time, trying to spin, and he does across the 25 to the 24, and this time Quinn Woods, a slot back senior from Birmingham, is able to pick up a couple of yards. Tony Hill in on the tackle for Mike Major's ombre defense. Call it 2nd and 7 at the 24-yard line of the Blazers, and the clock's running at 4 minutes.
Mike Major, the Blazer defensive coordinator, doing a lot of shuffling with the defensive front. John Hanson, Emmanuel Johnson, Mike Berry, and Andre Randall really rotating back and forth, trying to keep them fresh as much as possible.
Gross looks like a full house backfield this time, not in the typical full house set, as John said earlier. He's going to give it again, same play, right side, 25, 20, 19, 18-yard line, and a flag at the end. And a flag at the end could be a face mask or a late hit, as the flag is down, and they're very, very close, and they're motioning face mask. I think that's what it's going to be against the Blazers, and it will be. So it'll be another North Alabama first down and 2 costly penalties on this drive.
Yeah, it looks like they got Jason Jelks there. I don't think it's intentional, but it'll probably be another 5 yards added to the gain.
Quentin Woods picked up about 6 on the play, and he was a yard short of the first down, but they'll tackle on the face mask at the end of it, and that'll be a Lion first down inside Blazer. Well, it'll be inside the 15, maybe down at about the 12-yard line, and the temperature definitely dropping at Cleveland Field. We knew it was going to come down maybe into the 30s tonight, and you can tell it's dropped since kickoff at 7 o'clock. 3:37 to go in the half. 14-7 Blazers lead, but the Lions are threatening right now to punch one in. They're going to spot it right at the 13-yard line. Ball's on the far side hash mark. Looks for Gross to give it to Rush if he can, maybe on one of those sweeps around the right side. He's going to give it to Rush, but it's going to be right up the middle looking for room, and he scrambles, and he's diving, and he's crawling across the 10 to the 9-yard line. Edward Mitchell made the stop, and Tony Hill is there as well, but they're going to mark his forward progress right at the 10-yard line for North Alabama. He picked up 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 right at the 10-yard line with 3 minutes to play in the first half, and the Blazers leading 14-7. They're facing the Brookwood Plaza end of the stadium if you're familiar with Cleveland Field. The left end of your radio dial. Cody Gross wearing that 15 on his back. Purple hat, purple breeches. Got a gold stripe around each arm. Under the center. Going to go right and pitch it to Rush. Rush trying to get it to the outside, to the corner. Does get to the 8. And one of the Blazers, Edward Mitchell, slid right under the official and knocked him down over there. But Rush is going to get to the 8-yard line. They say the clock continues to run. He's going to be short of the first down by about 3 yards.
That was 2 tremendous plays athletically for both sides. Tyrone Rush catching a little quick option on the right side and just really used the speed to turn it around. But what about the play by Edward Mitchell? Really fought off a block and had the speed to get out there and just tripped Tyrone Rush up, or I think he would have scored there.
Here comes the crowd. Listen to that crowd in the background cheering on this Blazer D. Cody Gross is under the center. Got 3 men behind him in the Lion backfield, and this time he's going to go. They're going to stop it. Going to stop him. Ball's on the ground. Ball's on the ground, and Blazers Jason Jelks comes up. Shea Williams is there. John Henson is there, but Edward Mitchell is there, and also for the Blazers, well, let's see, Raz Harvey is there. They're going to come up with the football. Had his hat knocked off, did Edward Mitchell. They're going to be short of the first down. Again, they give it to Quentin Woods, but he's going to be short of the first down, and they're going to come on and try to kick to 3 and get back in this thing at 14-10. Now, they have a great field goal kicker. Jamie Stoddard's hit 9 out of 11 field goals this year. His long was a 47-yarder. This will be a 24-yard attempt. Stoddard lines it up, snaps a good one, kick is up, and it is low and good. Low just over the crossbar, and it's 14-10 with 68 seconds in the half. We'll take a 30-second local break. This is the Blazers Sports Network.
This is John with Knives and Diamonds Go, and we mean go. It's time to lay away now for Christmas. We have a large selection of gold watches for just $1.99, and we also have a large group of solid gold charm bracelets starting for just $49.99. Also, a wide flex herringbone chain, 18 inches in solid gold for just $39.99. No one beats our prices, quality, and selection. Located in Valdosta in the new Walmart Shopping Center, Lake Park, factory stores behind Hardee's in the Pink Building.
That's a moral victory of sorts, holding them out of the end zone after the third interception of the game by Chris Hatcher. But John, that 3 hurts. It would have been a lot better, 14-7 at halftime. Now they got a little bit old man mode. Maybe the Blazers can move it down the field in the final 68 ticks of the half.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. Blazer defense got to feel real good about the last 2 or 3 series.
Here's the kickoff by Stoddard. Left footer puts it high in the air. Going to be taken by Blake Duncan at the 20. Slipped a bit to the 25. Gets across the 25 to the 29-yard line. And the man who, and what do we got? Maybe somebody down on the field. The man who came in and made the stop was Thomas Counts for the visitors from North Alabama. 1st and 10 Blazers, 62 seconds in the half. And one of the Lions is being helped off the field. So the Blazers are now sitting at their own 29-yard line. Ball's on the far side hash mark. What do? You throw it down the field a couple of times? Are you conservative? What's your approach here, young John?
I think they'll. You'll see Dominic Ross make a couple of carries if we move it up. But we've got 3 timeouts left, and I think you may see him try and go to a high-tech passing game.
Steve Greer and Flash Flanders on the right side. Dominic Ross, long setback. Hatch looked like he busted play. He's going to dive across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Looked like he wanted to hand it off to Dominique, but then Dominique was not at home. He had already vacated the facility. In to make the stop for the visitors is O.J. Patrick, the senior defensive tackle, with 45 seconds to play in the first half, and the Blazers leading 14-10.
Tell you just don't see Chris Hatcher with 3 interceptions and then a busted play there. That's just not Chris Hatcher-like.
Hatcher now with 30 seconds in the half. North Alabama rushes 4. He's going to give it off to Dominique right up the middle. He's going to be corralled as he crosses the 35-yard line, maybe get to the 37. He's going to be 3 yards short of the first down. Will probably be the last play of the first half. And North Alabama is going to knock him down, and it's going to be 9-8-7. Do they try to line it up very quickly? Do they call timeout? He's looking over to Hal Mummy and says, do you want a timeout? And Hal says, yes, we'll take one, but it's too late. Now the first half is history. Blazers lead at halftime over the #1 ranked team in the nation, 14-10. We'll be back on the Blazers Sports Network after this 60-second network break. This is the Blazers Sports Network.
Prepare yourself for an extraordinary new rotisserie chicken, deeply marinated with herbs and spices, then slowly roasted till golden brown. Is it from...
framing all the
Ladies and gentlemen, the Department of Music at Valdosta State University is proud to present to you, for your listening and viewing pleasure, the Valdosta State University Blazing Brigade. Under the field leadership of Drum Major Jason Hilliard, the Blazing Brigade opens tonight's show with the sounds of the immortal Duke Ellington and his big band hit, Caravan. and gentlemen, the Valdosta State University Blaze and Brigade. The Blazer Brigade now features our lovely auxiliary groups with the Andrews Sisters hit Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. Marcella, Georgia, Frederick Henry Busman. From Edendale, Georgia, percussionist Clint Carnine. From Snellville, Georgia, trumpet player Jeff Justine. Color guard member Melvia Crane. Another color guard member Yolanda Daniels. A 4-year trombone player from Moultrie, Georgia, Christopher Folsom. From Miami, Florida, flag corps member Kristen Folsom. Trumpet player James Ford III from Colorado Springs, Colorado. From Middleburg, Florida, drum major Jason Hilliard. Flute player Leslie Holton from Tipton, Georgia. A 4-year member of Blazing Brigade, Kimberly Pierce from Atlanta, Georgia. From Pelham, Georgia, 4-year trumpet player Ronnie Pollard. From Woodstock, Georgia, Stephanie Van Hook. From Fayetteville, Georgia, Darcy Watson. And last, but certainly not least, setting a record 7 years in the Blazing Brigade. Once again, we want to thank Brian Layton from the dual section. Will he make it to 8? Stay tuned and find out. The Blazing Brigade concludes tonight's show with proof that even modern songs can sound great when given that big band sound. Listen now as we present the Stevie Wonder hit, You Are the Sunshine of My Life.
Michigan State over Northwestern, 31-29. Nebraska winner over Kansas, and Vandy knocks off Kentucky 17-7. Couple of Gulf South Conference scores. Delta State over West Georgia 27-7, and Henderson State over Livingston 46-44. Second half coming your way. Right now we'll take a 90-second local break. You're on the Blazer Sports Network.
This is Bart Bosch. Oftentimes people get the notion that the only way to get the best deal on a new vehicle is to drive hundreds of miles out of town. Now at Bosch Owens Buick GMC Isuzu, we make this pledge to our customers. We will meet or beat any competitor's price for a new Oldsmobile, Buick, GMC truck, or new Isuzu. Now you can be assured without trips to Jacksonville, Tallahassee, or wherever, you'll get the best deal at Bosch Owens Buick GMC Isuzu on any model, any day, any time. Bosch Owens Buick GMC Isuzu, North Valdosta Road.
This is John with Nigel Diamonds Go, and we mean go. It's time to lay away now for Christmas. We have a large selection of Go watches for just $1.99, and we also have a large group of solid gold charm bracelets starting for just $49.99. Also a wide flex herringbone chain, 18 inches in solid gold for just $39.99. No one beats our prices, quality, and selection. Located in Valdosta in the new Walmart Shopping Center, Lake Park, factory stores behind Hardee's in the Pink Building.
Hello, this is Carla Penny for the Framing Workshop. Do you have I'll get around to it framing? Most of us do. You know, those photographs, drawings by the kids, needlework you've been meaning to frame. This fall, why not bring them into the Framing Workshop and let us get to work on them? At the Framing Workshop, we specialize in framing all those I'll get around to it projects, and we do them up exquisitely. While you're in, see our great art-related gifts, but be sure to visit us soon at the Framing Workshop at Barclay Square.
Mike Chasen back live at Cleveland Field on Saturday night, and the temperature is dropping. The wind is picking up just a bit. 14-10, Valdosta stayed up at halftime, and the teams are getting ready to come back out on the field on the second half. Before they do, we'll take a 60-second network break. This is the Blazer Sports Network. Tillard to kick off for the Blazers. He'll be kicking off to the right end of your radio dial, and Tyrone Rush is waiting back at the 9-yard line. Probably another little stubby kick here. Blazers lead 14-10. We're underway in the second half against the #1 ranked team in the nation. Fair catch called for at the 32-yard line on the far side of the field, and the man who made the fair catch was Shane Smothers, the freshman quarterback from Jasper, Alabama. Now, last year, 365 days ago, it was this third quarter that really turned the football game around when North Alabama just ate up the clock. The Blazers barely smelled the pigskin in the third quarter. North Alabama took control in the second half and wound up tying the football game at 24. Blazers led it 24-10 at halftime, lead this one 14-10 at halftime. Cody Gross is going to be under the center, got 3 men in the backfield behind him. All good running backs. He's got a motion man this time. First time we've seen a motion man. He's going to give it up to Satterfield across the 35 to the 37-yard line on the far side hash mark. Raz Harvey in there on the tackle. Andre Hampton is there. Edward Mitchell is going to help Satterfield up, and he's going to gain 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5 at the 37.
Right away, North Alabama coming right back at you, full speed ahead. First play with a quick fullback hitter there, and the Blazers don't do a good job, and he picks up 6 yards. And there again, we've got to stop the fullback. Looked like we started doing that in the second quarter, and that really forced North Alabama out of their game.
Cody Gross is under the center again. Blazers have got 4 down linemen. 2 more come. 6 people come. They're going to cut off Gross at the 35, but he slips through to the 36. Mike Gibson is there to make the stop along with Shea Williams, but they had him cut off back at the 33, but he slid through there, slithered through, and got an extra yard. It's still going to be 3rd and 6 yards to go. Ball's on the near side hash mark, and the Blazer defense has really, really played well when he comes down that side on the option.
Yeah, certainly have. And real quick, Mike, just first half statistics, Blazers 192 total yards, North Alabama only 122.
3 men in the backfield behind Gross, 13:45 to go in the 3rd quarter, and the Blazers leading 14-10. This is for the Gulf South Conference Championship. Gross is going to roll right side, pitches it over to center field. He catches it on the dead run at the 40, and he knocked out of bounds at the win airborne at the 45. Win airborne, Marcus Johnson knocked him high in the air, and he was just looked like Superman looking down upon Cleveland Field there, but he gets the first down for the Lions despite the great hit by Marcus Johnson.
Well, I tell you what, that's a deja vu. Last year, Tyrone Rush hurdled the same Marcus Johnson one time on a very similar play, hurdled him around the right side and kept on running. That time, Marcus Johnson says, "You hurdle me this time, I'm going to hurt you," and he did. But the big thing is North Alabama picks up the first down.
Ball's at the 47 of the Lions. 1st and 10 for Cody Gross and company. 13:30 to go, and they're trailing 14-10. Going to give it out right side, and it's Kenyatta Jones at the 50, 45, 40, and knocked out of bounds on the far side of the field, right in front of Bobby Wallace and the coaching staff of North Alabama. And over there, Tony Hill is there, Edward Mitchell is there, Jason Jelks is there, Andre Hampton is there to push him out of bounds. But a good run by Jones, and he's going to pick up 9 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 1 at the 43-yard line.
They just keep the pressure on you. They really do. For the Blazers, we might add, Ryan Branch is in the ballgame. George Parsons came out, looked like he's got a hurt shoulder, not real sure.
And I see Jim Madalino rushing down to Parsons right now. Madalino resplendent in a red sweater and a white hat. It'll be 2nd and 1. Cody Gross under the center. Blazers rush 4. Same 3 men in the backfield. 13:23 to go in the 3rd quarter. Long snap count, pitches it deep to Rush. Rush across the 35, 45 to the 40 to the 37-yard line. It's just hard to stop it when he gets those legs to turn it. Jason Jelks, Edward Mitchell in there on the stop. It'll be another first down, and they've done it all on the ground. But hey, they're the leading rushing team in the nation, folks. We expect them to do it on the ground.
Certainly do. Just got to, as we talked about, they're like a record on 78. It's just a little faster, a little tougher than anything you've seen before.
1st and 10 at the Blazers 37-yard line. Ball's on the far side. Hash mark. They're trying to punch it in the end zone at the left end of your radio dial. 12:58 to go in the quarter. The Blazers leading 14-10. Here's Gross on the reverse, and he's got it coming around at the 40, 435, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Cuts back 5. Knocked out of bounds at the 3-yard line. And Raz Harvey came over there and knocked him out of bounds. And the reverse works to perfection. Demetrius Shelton, the freshman from Jasper, Alabama, the wide receiver. First time we've seen the reverse in the football game, and that's a great call by Bobby Wallace. And there's a player down on the field on the far side, and it's going to be one of the black shirts of Valdosta State, and they're going to attend to him over there. While they do, we're going to take a 30-second local break. This is the Blazers Sports Network.
Unless you're a travel professional, you can't always know all there is to know about airfares, seasonal rates, package tours, and other details behind a successful trip. That's why you should see the travel professionals at South Georgia Travel. South Georgia Travel has served the travel needs of our area since 1964, and we're dedicated to offering the quality travel services you deserve. Call 244-2324 or stop by our offices on Bay Tree Road. It'll be our pleasure to serve you.
It's one of the tall, thin ones. Not that helped. Here we go. Back in a chance here for the Blazers. We're trying to decipher who it is. Now he's getting helped up, and it's going to be Tony Hill. It's going to be Tony Hill, who is still woozy as he comes off the field. Jim Madalino's got that left arm on him, and he is really supporting him. Hal Mummy walked all the way across the field, concerned about Tony Hill, and I don't blame him. He was laying flat out on the turf of Cleveland Field. He's still walking a little unsteadily there, John. Yeah, looked like he just got his bell rung there, but a great play by North Alabama there. Take advantage of the Blazers' great pursuit toward the ball. That time they start that lead option to the left, and this time just pitched it out to Demetrius Shelton, coming back around on a flanker reversed, and he had nothing but running room, and
showed us some great speed. A big play for North Alabama.
First and goal at the 4-yard line. Blazer fans rise to their feet as one. Going to go left side to Satterfield. Satterfield's going to try to crash in, but he will not get there. He'll be stopped at the 1-yard line. And the Blazers are going to knock him down there. It'll be second and goal at the 1. In on the stop is Keith Braddock, the junior free safety who came in to replace Tony Hill. Now checking into the Blazer lineup in that goal line D is Emmanuel Johnson. Made a couple of tackles last week, the junior from Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, this Blazer coaching staff very high on Emmanuel Johnson. He's just now playing himself into shape, and I think he's going to be a big asset to this Blazer team in the future.
Cody Gross looks around, and he wants to make sure Satterfield and Tyrone Rush are back there, and he goes straight ahead himself and takes it in. 1-yard touchdown plunge by the sophomore quarterback in North Alabama has taken the lead for the first time in the football game. And it's 12:03 to play. The 1-yard touchdown plunge by Cody Gross, and 16 on the board for the visiting Lions and 14 for the Blazers. And now on for the extra point for the Florence, Alabama team is Jamie Stoddard. And Stoddard is going to have it held down there. Here's the snap. It's a good one. The kick is up, and it is good. North Alabama 17, Blazers 14. We'll take a 60-second network break. This is the Blazers Sports Network.
Sir, you can't come in the studio.
It's all right. I'm Dave's cousin Ed. I'm filling in.
But the script says Dave's.
It's just an oversight.
You sure?
Trust me.
Okay. Wendy's, take 1.
Hi, this is Dave Thomas's cousin Ed. Let's cut through it. With Wendy's 99-cent super value menu, you can put together a feast for next to nothing. For example, you take a bowl of chili and a baked potato, Caesar side salad, and a biggie drink. At 99 cents each every day, you get a great meal for diddly. My brother-in-law, Bill, well, he lives off the super value menu. Of course, he's tired and a rusted nut.
Excuse me, cousin Ed, that's not in my script.
It's called ad-libbing. Dave will love it. For the kids, there's Wendy's $1.99 hamburger kids meal, including a toy. So get on down to participating Wendy's. Oh, here comes cousin Dave. Gotta go.
Oh, hi, Dave. How you doing?
Okay, but I could swear I just saw cousin Ed.
Enjoy one of the delicious items on Wendy's 99-cent super value menu, available at Wendy's in Valdosta.
Here's the kickoff by North Alabama. A short, high kick going to be taken by Calvin Walker at the 16 to the 20. Tries to come across the field and knock down at the 21. They have a good kick return team, and the man who brought him down was Gerald Smith, the cornerback for Bobby Wallace's Lions, ranked #1 in the nation and leading the Blazers now 17-14. John, it was a workmanlike drive that saw no passing at all, completely on the ground. Of course, the big play was the reverse.
Yeah, it certainly was, and it's, you know, I mean, it shows you what North Alabama's made of. They're down and they're not out. They come right back and take charge.
Hatch is under the center, got Greer in motion to the visitor side, going to give it to the fullback, Dominic Ross across the 35 to the 35-yard line, across the 25 to the 30 to the 35, and Ross with a big run, 14 yards on the play by a sophomore from Jacksonville. It'll be a first down Blazers. Ball's at the near side hash mark. The Blazers headed to the right end of your radio dial, dressed all in black.
Dominic Ross, 10 carries for 62 yards in the first half, and there's 14 yards there, so he's up to 76 yards on the night.
At 160 last week, named the Gulf South Conference Offensive Player of the Week, set the all-time Blazer single-game rushing record earlier this year against Fort Valley State. Hatch is in the gun, looking out right side, batted down at the line of scrimmage by one of the on-rushing defensive linemen. Got a big hand on it there, and that was Jeff Redcross, the defensive end, the senior from Huntsville, just knocked it down with a big left hand.
Yeah, good play by Red Cross, because it looked like Blazers had a play developing here. Again, a little quick swing pass here to Blake Duncan, and it looked like he had some room in front of him.
Spot the ball at the 34.5-yard line, near side hash mark. Blazers right now 65.5 yards away from touchdown country. Got 2 wideouts on the right, 2 wideouts on the left. Now motion man is Pender to the home side. He's got Blake Duncan on his left. Hatch is in the shotgun, punts once. Rolls left, throws a blue darter over the middle at the 42-yard line. Caught and fumbled by Greer at midfield. Caught by Greer at the 45 and fumbled forward to midfield, and going to be picked up there by the guys in the white shirts. And the man who recovered the fumble was Keith Humphrey, the sophomore linebacker from Huntsville, Alabama. It'll be North Alabama football, and it's the 4th turnover of the night for VSU.
Yeah, things not going the way you have to have it tonight. We talked about the Blazers can't afford to make mistakes on offense. and give this North Alabama offense the ball back, and that's just what happens. Chris Hatcher with 3 interceptions, and there we see the fumble by Greer. Good job by Steve Greer fighting for extra yards, but the ball pops loose, and North Alabama's back in business.
So the Blazers hold the ball less than a minute, and right now North Alabama has it back 50 yards from Glory Land. Straight up the middle goes Satterfield. He'll take it to the 45-yard line. Edward Mitchell and, let's see, Andre Hampton in there on the stop for Mike Major's VSU defense. This is the kind of game that North Alabama loves, folks. They love to take advantage of the other team's turnovers. They like to get the ball in good field position. They like to stay on the ground. They're doing everything they like. The Blazers have to upset those plans right now. 2:53 to go in the third quarter. Blazers trailing 17-14.
Tony Hill is back in the ball game.
Good news right there as Hill is back playing that safety spot. Got a motion man to this side. It's Kenyatta Jones. Going to hand off to Satterfield again across the 43 to the 42. He's going to be a couple of yards short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 2 at the 42-yard line of the Blazers.
Again, a good job by that North Alabama offensive line. As we told you, they love to run behind number 78, right guard Jeff Surbaugh, 6'4", 275, a senior. And as we said, they'll move him around to the left side occasionally, too, to take advantage of his great blocking ability.
And the Blazer players turning around and pointing at the crowd, said, let's get up and stop him on this 3rd and 2. Here's Cody Gross under the center. Got Jones in motion to the home side. He's going to keep it himself. Tries to go along the corner. He's going to flip it deep, and Rush is going to catch it and be hit by Edward Mitchell. Rush is going to be hit by Edward Mitchell and knocked back to midfield. What a big play. And Harold Mummy on the sideline with both fists in the air, and you hear this crowd in the background, and the defensive play of the game by Edward Mitchell.
Great play there. Again, lead option to the right, but I think what the key there, Cody Gross looked like he had running room, but he pitched it. Mike, I'm wondering if a couple of those vicious hits by Tony Hill doesn't have Cody Gross thinking, I'm going to pitch it instead of run it.
I think you're exactly right. Lee Morris is on the punt it away, and a nice low punt. Going to bounce once and take a North Alabama roll, and it's going to roll and roll and roll all the way down to the 5, maybe the 4-yard line. What a roll that time for the Lions. It'll be 1st and 10, 96 yards away from going ahead in this football game.
Great play by that Blazer defense. North Alabama would have liked nothing better than to knock out a few first downs and start grinding on you, but this Blazer defense rises up and makes a key 3rd down play. Credit Edward Mitchell there with a tremendous play stopping Tyrone Rush.
Of the Blazers' 4 turnovers, only 1, John, has resulted in a score. Or is it 2? Yeah, 1 got the field goal and another got a touchdown. That's right. No, that's right. Only 1.
Just the field goal.
Just the field goal. That's right. 2 touchdowns. They drove it down the field. Here's Hatch under the center. Motion man is Flash Flanders to the visitor's side. Hatch is going to roll left, and now he's going to throw it to Calvin Walker at the 15 to the 20, and Walker's going to get across the 20 to the 23-yard line. And over there on the stop for the visitors that time is Robert Haynes, the junior D-back from Nettleton, Mississippi. The play picks up 7 yards. It'll be 2nd and 3. Ball's on the far side, hash mark, and the clock running at 8:55 in the third quarter, and the Blazers trail 17-14.
How about that, Mike? That's Calvin Walker's first catch of the night. Did not catch a pass in the first half. Last year, 6 catches, 101 yards against North Alabama.
He just broke his own record for most receptions in a season with 72. Hatch is under the center. Steve Greer, the motion man, to the visitor's side. Going to give it off to Dominique, left side, crashing for the first down across the 25 to the 28, maybe to the 29-yard line. In there on the stop for North Alabama that time is Ronald McKinnon, the sophomore linebacker. Going to be a first down Blazer.
Again, a good job by the left side of that Blazer line. York Korinsky, Matt Moore really sealing that left side off, allowing Dominic Ross to pick his hold there and just slash it up in there for 5, 6, 7 yards.
Ball's on the far side, hash mark. Blazers are going to bring them up here. After the Blazer D held on that last one after the fumble, got to march it down the field, give these defensive troops some support. Going to motion Dominic Ross back in the eye right behind him. Hatch is under the center. Going to give off to Ross. Ross looking for a hole on the right tackle. He finds one, 4 or 5 yards up to the 34-yard line. And that will bring up a 2nd down and about 6 yards to go. In on the stop for North Alabama again is Ronald McKinnon. Good running by Dominique tonight. Should be approaching that 100-yard mark, somewhere in there, John.
Yeah, he should be close. I think he's got around 90 yards at this point unofficially.
Hatch with 160. I checked that. Dominique with 160 last week. 7:42 to play in the third quarter, and the Blazers trail 17-14 to the #1 team in the nation. Sean Pender in motion to the visitor side. Hatch is in the gun. Three-step drop, looking down the field. Got a man there right in the middle of the defense, right in the teeth of the defense, and Hatch, with no fear, just threw it right into the teeth of the defense. Calvin Walker is waiting for the pass at the Lions' 47-yard line. First down, VSU.
That may be his most important pass of the night. As you said, he really stepped in there and fired it. He really threaded the needle there. Calvin Walker was not wide open, lined up on the left side, went about 18 yards on a little curl route. Chris Hatcher zipped it in there between the linebackers. That's the kind of throw he needs to get his confidence back.
Remember, this drive started at the Blazers' 4-yard line. Steve Greer in motion to the visitor's side. Hatch is going to give it off to his sophomore fullback, and Dominique is going to burrow to the 45-yard line of North Alabama. Picks up 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7 at the 45, and the ball's on the far side hash mark. Here comes Robert Williams, the beanpole, into the football game, and Flash Flanders is going to check out. 6:45 to go in the third quarter, and the Blazers trail 17-14 to the #1 team in the nation. Biggest crowd of the year, easy, in Cleveland Field, probably somewhere around 9,000-10,000, maybe 11, who knows. Good crowd on hand to support the Blazers of Hal Mummy, ranked 18th in the nation. Motion man to this side is Robert Williams, the beanpole. Hatch is going to fake the run to Dominique, looking for Beanpole. He's going to throw to his short man, Greer, at the 40-yard line. Steve Greer is going to be 2 yards short of the first down. Coming over there to make the tackle is Gerald Clemens, the junior D-back from Griffin. But Greer, that's an important catch for him after fumbling the last time he caught it. And you never see Steve Greer fumble. That's perhaps the first time all season that I've seen him fumble, but he got hit really hard, and the helmet must have hit the ball that was tucked right under his arm there and caused it to squirt forward. But that one was a big catch for Greer. It'll be 3rd and a long 2 right at the 40.5-yard line with 5:55 to go in the third quarter. The Blazers trailing 17-14.
This is a big play here. Blazers need to get that first down. We don't want to be stuck with a 4th and short here.
Hatch is under the center. Got Dominique Ross behind him. Going to go up to Ross, sliding off that left tackle. Gets across the 40 to maybe the 38, right at the first down marker. He's right at the first down marker, and it depends on what kind of spot he gets. Korinsky says first down. Korinsky, the big lineman for the Blazers, said that's a first down, coach, and he looks over there, and they start the clock again, and the guys in the stripes are going to say that it is not a first down.
It's short, but let's see. What are we going to do? We're going to go for, I think Chris Hatcher is going to want a measurement. He can ask for a measurement if he wants one.
And he's asking for
the 25-second clock is running, so
he's asking for one, but he's not getting one.
Let's call it. I think we ought to take a timeout here, but we're not going to do it.
Hatch is going to be under the center. 5 seconds on the 25-second clock. He's going to go to Dominique. First down, Blazers. First down, Blazers. Listen to that crowd. Listen to that crowd in the background. I tell you, they're pumped up at Cleveland Field on Saturday night. Dominique Ross, the play was not entirely in mind as to what they were going to do, but I knew what to do.
Hey, I didn't mean to be a coach in here, but I didn't like the confusion down there. You want 11 people going in the same direction when you got a 4th and 1.
Absolutely. Hatch is in the gun on 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line of North Alabama. Looking down the field, throws to his short man, Blake Duncan, at the 38. He's going to slide forward to the 34-yard line. Got his legs clipped out from under him that time by Jeff Redcross, the senior defensive end from Huntsville. He's still going to pick up 2 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8 at the 34-yard line of the Lions of North Alabama, and it's been the Blazers who have controlled the football here in the third quarter, not the Lions of Bobby Wallace.
I tell you, I am impressed with North Alabama and the secondary and the coverage. They are really doing a great job of getting in the throwing zones and preventing Chris Hatcher from looking downfield.
Hatch is under the center this time. The motion man is Steve Greer to the visitor's side of the field. Going to give it up to Dominique, trying to skirt the left end, gets to the 30, maybe the 29, maybe the 28. And over there on the stop for North Alabama is Gerald Clemens, the junior D-back. And the clock's running at 3:45. He's going to be short of the first down by 4 yards. Another third down play on this long time-consuming drive. The Blazers started at their own 4-yard line and have moved it to the North Alabama. They're going to set it down right at the 29 on the far side hash mark, headed to that goal line at the right end of your radio dial. Picture it in your mind, the turf of Cleveland Field getting a little brown and black right out here in the middle of the field. These two heavyweights just slugging it out on a Saturday night for the Gulf South Conference Championship. Hatch is under the center, audibilizes at the line of scrimmage. He's going to give it out left side to Dominique, trying to get around the end. He bangs heads with a lion, but he's going to dive across the 25 and get the first down. He's going to get the first down right at the 25, and now they're trying to unscramble it. Where do they say his knee touched?
It's going to be close, Mike. Right on it. I think he may be, they may even say he's short. It looked like he got it from here, but it's all the way across the field. I think they're going to have to measure.
They're right at the sticks, and they're going to bring the chain gang about 5 feet out onto the field and measure. And many of the crowd on their feet looking over there, and Hatch says it's going to be first down Blazers. First down Blazers. Hatcher was the first man to motion to the sideline and say that the guys in the black shirts had the first down. Exactly 3 minutes to play in the quarter. This could be the crucial, the pivotal play, the pivotal drive of a football game. Trailing 17-14, hoping to get something out of a long third quarter drive. Hatches in the gun, Blake Duncan on his right, and he's got Sean Pinder on his left. Flash Flanders on the right side, look for Flash in the end zone. Here's Hatch over the middle. Instead, he's got Steve Greer at the 18. Steve Greer picks up 7 yards on the play. He hit him on that left hash mark, and in there to make the stop for North Alabama is Ronald McKinnon.
Boy, I tell you what, Steve Greer, we see him catch so many passes over the middle, but he's taken some vicious hits in there. That time, number 42, as you said, McKinnon, Ronald McKinnon, number 44, Ronald McKinnon, and number 42, Keith Humphreys, really sandwiched Greer in there. Tough hit.
And Hatch is under the center on a second and short yardage situation. Dominique Ross, the lone setback. Hatch is going to give it out to Dominique. He's going to crash off the left tackle line, going to be very close to the first down. Does he get it? It's at the 15, I think. 2 minutes, and the clock is stopped in the third quarter. Let's see where they put the football. It's going to be just short, I believe.
I think they're going to measure, Mike.
Hatch looks over and tells Hal Mummy they're going to be just inches short here. And they're going to bring out the sticks anyway. Now Hatch comes all the way across. Mummy's 5 steps out onto the field, talking to his junior quarterback. Hatch is going to look down the line, and they're going to say, first down Blazers. First down Blazers again. And boy, we've had some squeakies. We've had some squeakies here that were just by inches, and that one's going to be another VSU first down with exactly 2 minutes to play in the quarter. And so far, the Blazers have moved it from their own 4-yard line to the North Alabama 15. Oh, my, what a drive here. The drive. It'll be known in Blazer history as the drive. In the 12th year of play in college football, the Valdosta State University Blazers hoping to upset the #1 ranked team in the nation. Here's Hatch under the center. Going to go right side to Dominique. Cuts back across the middle, but got hit after he got 3 yards on the play. Takes it down nearly to the 10-yard line, maybe to the 11-yard line. 90 seconds to play in the quarter. In there on the stop that time, Ronald McKinnon. We call his name a lot, but he's always around the football. They have some great football players. 80 seconds in the quarter, and the Blazers are going to come up with a 2nd and 6 just outside the 10-yard line.
This may be the most time-consuming drive in Hal Mummy's tenure here as a Blazer football coach. Not used to really grinding this thing out. Our run-to-pass ratio is really heavily favored to the run on this drive, and that's unusual.
Blazers in a very tight formation. Got the Bobsey twins on the left side. Hatch is looking to throw. Looking. Now he's got to run out of there. Hatch is at the 10. Now he's going to throw a touchdown! Valdosta State University! He ran out of a big scramble back at the 15-yard line, and then Calvin Walker is waiting for the football at the rear of the end zone. Touchdown, VSU, and Calvin Walker comes through again. What a combination as Hatch throws his 3rd touchdown of the evening, and the Blazers lead it 20-17 over the #1 ranked team in the nation. Here's Laurie for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. Blazers 21, North Alabama 17. We'll take a 30-second local break. This is the Blazers Sports Network.
This is Bart Bosch. Oftentimes people get the notion that the only way to get the best deal on a new vehicle is to drive hundreds of miles out of town. Now at Bosch Buick anytime. Bosch Buick GMC Isuzu, North Valdosta Road.
And this is the most fired up I've ever seen a Valdosta State University football crowd as their Blazers leading North Alabama, the Lions ranked #1 in the nation. Listen to them. Listen to them in the background. Oh, my, this is college football right here. This is college football on a Saturday night in Valdosta, Georgia, home of the Blazers.
I'll tell you what, it's great to see the crowd, but right now let's think ahead. It would be so nice to get a stop right here, get that ball back. You still got to make the plays on defense. We can't let North Alabama take it, regain momentum by just knocking out 5 and 6 yards. So let's call on that hombre defense to rise up and make a play.
Jerry Dillard with the kickoff. Tyrone Rush standing back at his own 8. Dillard's been kicking it short so he won't get it. And he does it again. Going to be a fair catch called for at the 30-yard line. And this time the man who made the fair catch was Shane Smothers. Second time he's done it tonight, the freshman quarterback. In fact, he kicked it about the same place from Jasper, Alabama. So the Lions have 50 seconds in the third quarter to try to retaliate. And boy, I tell you, you talk about your big fights, and you talk about Holyfield, and you talk about Riddick Bowe, and you talk about heavyweights, and you talk about two of the best teams in NCAA Division II in the nation right here on this field in Valdosta, Georgia. 21-17 Blazers. North Alabama with the football, and the crowd has definitely been a factor in cheering on the black shirts of Hal Loving. Gonna pitch it deep to Rush. Rush looking for room, finds it, hurdles across the 40 to the 43-yard line. And oh, did it cause your heart to skip a beat there. As you just saw Tyrone Rush, like Skeets Nehemiah or somebody just hurdling Blazers left and right, and he gets 12 yards on the block.
How does he find his seam in there? I tell you, we've got 8, 9 men packed in there. He just squares his shoulders up on the pitch sweep and just hits that 3rd and 4th gear, and boom, he's gone. And, I don't know who made the tackle there, but just barely tripped him up enough or he was headed to pay dirt.
21-17 Blazers lead. 25 seconds in the third quarter. Motion man to this side of the field. Cody Gross is under the center. Blazers fake the blitz, and now they're going to give it to Satterfield across midfield to the 47-yard line of the Blazers. And Tony Hill has to come in there and drag him down from behind, and that's going to be close to another first down with 13 seconds to go in the third quarter of the football game, and they stop the clock while they move the chains. It will be a first down at the 47. And they're going to run it. It should be the last play of the half. I don't think they'll even get it off, or will they? 7 seconds to go. 5, 4, and he's going to bring them up as the third quarter winds down. He will not. Third quarter's history. Blazers lead 21-17. We'll take a 90-second network break. This is the Blazers Sports Network.
Prepare yourself for an extraordinary new rotisserie chicken, deeply marinated with herbs and spices, then slowly roasted till golden brown. Is it from KFC? Indeed. The legendary long-lost recipe only at KFC. Taste it and believe. The new Colonel's Rotisserie Gold. At KFC, we do chicken right. Available only at participating KFC restaurants.
Play of the fourth quarter. Tyrone Rush goes straight ahead and bangs into the belly of Tony Hill and knocks him back a couple of steps and gains 5 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5 at the Blazers' 41-yard line. The ball's near the center of the field, and clock's running down, and right now the Blazers hope to hold the Lions out of the end zone, the #1 ranked team in the nation, trailing 21-17 in the black shirts. The hombre defense of Mike Majors hoping to make a stiff defensive stand right here. Got a motion man to the home side. Cody Gross is under the center. He's going to pitch it to Tyrone Rush. Looking for room on the left side. He's going to find it to the 36-yard line. It should be enough for another North Alabama first down.
Boy, I tell you what, they're at the break. I stepped over and talked to some of the Blazer coaches up here in the box, and they just shake their head. Said, you know, John Coniston says Tyrone Rush has got a gear we haven't seen before. And I think I'd have to agree. He really just, I haven't seen anybody with the speed that just takes the handoff, and he like he's going at full speed.
Crowd officially announced at 9,148, the second largest crowd in Valdosta State football history. It is a Lion first down at the 36. Cody Gross is under the center. His backfield mate fell down, and we got a flag down, got a face mask against Shea Williams. Cody Gross saw his backfield partner fall down, so he scrambled out of there. Shea Williams reaches out and pulls him down, but it's going to be a face mask call against the Blazers.
Boy, nobody is disappointed about it as Shea Williams just totally inadvertent, didn't mean to. But I tell you, a big break for North Alabama. We had them thrown for a 3-yard loss, and they're going to get a 5-yard penalty and make it first down and 5. Talking about Tyrone Rush, all you got to do is look down. He comes from Philadelphia, Mississippi. There was another guy from Philadelphia, Mississippi, a guy by the name of Marcus Dupree. If you remember him, probably the most widely recruited high school athlete since Herschel Walker, or after Herschel Walker, went on to play at Oklahoma and then played in the pros for a couple of years before he hurt his knee.
13:32 to go in the football game. Blazers lead 21-17. Gross is going to pitch it deep to Rush. He jumps over people and takes it to the 32-yard line, but not much going there as the Blazers, Shea Williams, again, in on the stop. Marcus Dupree was talked about long, hard, and often in Barry Switzer's book, and he says he's the most talented football player he's ever seen, but he could never live up to his potential.
Boy, bad news again. You see George Parsons coming off. I think he's got a stinger on his right neck there. It's just where you make a hit there and you just get a numbing, stinging sensation down your right arm. And it's just a frustrating injury because you have to come out and sit out for a couple of plays and let it go away before you can get back in there.
2nd and 6 for North Alabama at the Blazers 32. On the near side, hash mark headed to the right into your radio dial. He gives it to Satterfield across the 30 to the 29-yard line. Ryan Branch is in on the stop, the freshman from Tifton. And also other Blazers down there. We got a whole pile of John Henson is there. Edward Mitchell is there. Raz Harvey is there. To stop Satterfield, it'll be a 3rd and 5, and now, let's see, we got an official's timeout down on the field.
Yeah, it looks like one of the Blazer players got an equipment problem there. See, it looks like Shea Williams.
Now he's getting his hat straightened on as he'll put it back on his head. And the Blazers leading by a razor-thin 4-point margin. North Alabama driving the football down the field, 12-22 and counting in the game of the year, the game of the century for VSU. And Hal Mummy's raising both arms down on the field and getting this crowd to exhort this defense. Cody Gross is under the center. Got 3 backs in the backfield behind him. Gross is going to take a long snap count. Now he's going to give it first man through. Satterfield flashes across the 27 to the 28, but Raz Harvey stops him short of the first down, and it'll bring up a 4th down play and decision time for Bobby Wallace.
You're exactly right. Let's see the decision they make. I think they don't take long. They send another running back on this field, and they're going to go for it. Cody Gross is now asking if Bobby Wallace, does he want to call time, but no. There's not going to be a time. He gets the signal. They're going for it.
Both teams still have their 3 timeouts of the second half left, and listen to this crowd. Listen to this crowd. 9,148, and they're really getting into it. Here's Cody Gross on 4th down and 2. He's going to give it to Rush, and Rush is going to jump over 2 players and take it to the 26. He's going to be right at the marker. He's going to be right at the marker, and in there on the stop for Valdosta State University was Mike Berry. What's it going to be? Players from both teams are on that far side hash mark, right at their marker. They may have to bring out the sticks.
Usually you see one team saying, yeah, we got it, or no, we didn't get it. Both teams just sitting there staring. This one must be very close.
While they measure, we'll take a 30-second local break. This is the Blazers Sports Network.
This is John with Nigel Diamonds Go, and we mean go. It's time to lay away now for Christmas. We have a large selection of Go watches, for just $1.99, and we also have a large group of Solid Gold charm bracelets starting for just $49.99. Also, a wide flex herringbone chain, 18 inches in Solid Gold for just $39.99. No one beats our prices, quality, and selection. Located in Valdosta in the new Walmart Shopping Center, Lake Park, factory stores behind Hardee's in the Pink Building.
It is a North Alabama first down at the Blazers' 26-yard line. Here's Cody Gross, going to give it up to Rush, right up the middle, still on his feet. 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Tyrone Rush. And North Alabama has taken the lead back from Valdosta State on the 26-yard touchdown run by the third leading rusher in the Gulf South Conference.
Well, he just keeps hammering in there until he just chisels something away, finds a crack, and I tell you, on that run there, he broke 2 tackles to get into the end zone, but this team's #1 in the country, and they're not there by accident.
Jamie Stoddard for the kick, Demetria Shelton with the hold. It is up, and it is good. 10:49 to play in a football game. Your score, North Alabama 24, the Blazers 21. We'll take a 60-second network break. This is the Blazers Sports Network.
You'll find them in communities throughout the nation. People in all walks of life, working in all types of jobs, doing what they can to get ahead. And while the scenery may change from small town to big city, these people have all the borrowing advantages of a major financial center, because they live in one of the communities served by Nations Bank, giving Bob Todd in Abbeville, South Carolina, all the loan options he might find in New York, providing families like the Haleys in Annapolis, Maryland, the latest in home improvement and auto financing. And with loans exceeding $23 billion in just the last year, Nations Bank has helped nearly 3 million people like you reach their dreams. So whether you live in Fort Worth, Texas, Fort Myers, Florida, or any of the 1,900 other communities throughout our nation, finding the right loan can be as easy as talking with the people at Nations Bank, the loan source.
Equal housing lender, credit subject to approval.
A very high kickoff taken at the 20 by Reggie Walker. He's going to get to the 25 and get smothered right at the 25-yard line by the white shirts of North Alabama. The man who made the stop was Nate George, sophomore linebacker from Colquitt, Georgia, over in Miller County. They play some good football over that way, the Miller County High School team.
I'll tell you one thing we haven't talked about tonight that this Blazer coaching staff told me earlier. Great special teams play by North Alabama, and we've seen that on their kickoff coverage team tonight. They're not kicking it deep, but they are really flying down to the football, coming down the field. Just reckless abandon.
Blazers right now hoping to get that lead back. 10:44 to play in the football game. Hatches under the center. Going to give it off to Dominic Ross. He cuts back to his right side and takes it to the 27-yard line. He's going to pick up 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7 at the Blazers' own 27. In the man who made the stop for North Alabama that time was Israel Raybon, the sophomore defensive end from Huntsville. They have a lot of players from Huntsville, Alabama. Clock's running at 10:23, and the Blazers down by 3 points.
Dominic Ross, not sure what he has, but he's got to be over 100 yards at this point.
Hatch is going to be under the center. He's got Blake Duncan, his lone setback. He's got 2 wideouts on the right side. That's Steve Greer and Robert Williams. 2 on the left side, the Bobsey twins, Calvin Walker and Flash Flanders. Going to go to Blake Duncan right up the middle at the 30, to the 32, to the 33-yard line, and pull down right at the 33. Still 2 yards short of the first down. Making the stop for North Alabama is Ronald McKinnon. 24-21. These two teams both have Gulf South Conference contests next week, but all eyes in the Gulf South focused upon this game tonight between the #1 and #2 teams in the league. North Alabama comes in 8-0 overall, 5-0 in the league. Valdosta State 7-2 overall, 4-1 in the Gulf South. Hatch on 3rd and a yard. And we got a jump off sides by North Alabama. They got back. He goes right side to Dominique, and he does not get the first down. He does not get the first down. A great defensive stop on the far side of the field by the defensive end, and that was O.J. Batrick. And he's going to pull Dominique down just a foot short of the first down. It'll be 4th and a foot. And looked like, John, they jumped that time, but they must have gotten back.
Yeah, defense, they moved, but clearly got back. This brings up a big decision here. What do you do? 9:12 remaining. If you don't make the first down, looks like they're going to be short. I think Hal Mummy's got to go for it, even backed up here on his 34-yard line, because you punt it away and give it back to them. you may never see the ball again.
And you say, what? Use up 9 minutes? Yes, folks, we've seen them do it. We saw them do it last year, and they get 3, 4, they get 6, they get a first down. And Korinsky says, no, we want to go for it, but he's going to come off the field, and Hal Mumme is going to send in David Ashby to punt the ball away. And, John, I believe this is the first punt of the night.
Yeah, it is, and this is probably a good decision. I don't mean to, I'm certainly not disagreeing with Hal Mumme's election to punt it here, because that's probably percentages of smart. He just knows that he's going to put some pressure on his defense now.
Ashby comes in averaging on the air, and now we fake it and go right side and get the first down. Billy Paul with the first down on a fake punt, and the Lowndes High School product takes it for the first down, and the Blazers are back in business on the fake.
Of course, I'm sitting here saying, do we go for it? Do we kick it? I never thought that we might fake it, but chalk one up for Hal Mumme there. He really played the part well. I looked down at him, and he slammed his script down on the ground when he sent his punting team onto the field. So he knew what he was doing the whole time.
Like an actor aiming for the Academy Award, Hal Mumme plays it perfectly, and Billy Poole picks up the necessary yardage. He's going to take it all the way to the 44-yard line on the play. Chris Hatcher throws quickly to Robert Williams on the far side. Williams is going to come back across the field, looking for runner, and he's going to come all the way back across, and he won't make it. He'll be knocked down at the 38-yard line. Chasing him all the way over there and knocking him down is Keith Humphrey. Seldom does a player get back across unless he has the speed of a Flash Flanders.
Now, that's not the way that one's designed, and well, that cost us big, because that's about an 8-yard loss, and Robert Williams tried to make something spectacular when probably should have just taken it straight up the field, but caught it on the right sideline and got tackled on the left sideline all the way across the field. Unfortunately, didn't pick up any yardage. In fact, lost 7 yards.
2nd and 17 for the Blazers. Hatch is in the gun. Blake Duncan's on his right. 3-step drop and looking. Got to come out of the pocket a little bit. He throws a blue darter at the 43-yard line to Calvin Walker. He's only going to pick up 5 on the play. It'll still be 3rd and 12 yards to go, and the clock's running at 7:35 in the 4th quarter, and the Blazers trailing 24-21 to the University of North Alabama, the #1 ranked team in the nation.
I tell you what, you got to give North Alabama credit, their defense. Bill Hyde, you know, used to be here on this Blazer staff as defensive coordinator, doing a great job with the secondary. Chris Hatcher really having a hard time finding any lanes to throw in.
Hatch is in the gun. Big 3rd down play here. Crowd rises to its feet. Steve Greer in motion to the home side. Hatch takes the snap, looks down the field, throws it over the middle, over Robert Williams' head, but he's able to reach out and grab it, but he's only going to pick up 5 yards on the play, and it'll be 4th down and 8 yards to go for the Blazers. We'll take a timeout and let our stations along the line identify themselves. This is the Blazer Sports Network.
Star 105 is WSTI FM, Quitman, Valdosta, Lake Park, an Orb communication station.
And since he didn't get the first down, the clock continues to run, and the Blazers are going to go for it on 4th down. 4th and 7 at their own 48-yard line. No mystery here, no shroud of mystery at all. The Blazers want the first down, want the football, want the game, and Hatch is going to call the first time out of the second half, and he'll come over and talk with Hal Mumme. And while he does, we'll take a 60-second local break. This is the Blazers Sports Network.
It's such a pleasant surprise to shop at the Framing Workshop. Hello, this is Carla Penny from the Framing Workshop, here to remind you of all the exquisite things we have to offer that you might not think about for a frame shop. We have hand-carved pens and boxes, clocks and journals, gift books, miniature gardens, and the most outstanding collection of photo frames for your tabletops that you'll ever see. Get your Holusion 3D images here, too. The Framing Workshop at Barclay Square by the mall.
Unless you're a travel professional, you can't always know all there is to know about airfares, seasonal rates, package tours, and other details behind a successful trip. That's why you should see the travel professionals at South Georgia Travel. South Georgia Travel has served the travel needs of our area since 1964, and we're dedicated to offering the quality travel services you deserve. Call 244-2324 or stop by our offices on Bay Tree Road. It'll be our pleasure to serve you.
And some UNA fans bring up the chant, UNA on the far side of the field, and VSU responds. Everybody on their feet in the stadium. 4th and 7. Blazers get a motion man, Robert Williams to this side. Hatch needs to get a first down. 3-step drop. Looking down the field. Now he throws it, and Robert Williams is going to catch it at the 45. First down, Blazers. First down, Blazers. Oh, Robert Williams, the mean ball, who had earlier really hurt the Blazers. Now he catches the first down, and he's in Lion territory. He's going to stretch out that full frame of his to the 44-yard line, and he's going to come up limping, and he's going to come off the field. But the Blazers have the football and a first down with 6:08 to play in the 4th quarter.
Great job there. Chris Hatcher looking across the middle of the field, has the double clutch, takes advantage of the great height by Robert Williams because he used every bit of the 6'4" frame to go up and catch it, and then use that great strength to pull across and lay the ball down across the 45 to get the first down.
Just by a foot. Hatch in a deep drop. Slipped a bit, throwing it down the field. Flashes there. Does he run under it? Oh, no! Almost at the 3. Flash stretched out his arms at the 3, and the Bainbridge, Georgia speedster just about made the catch of the year.
Well, boy, we haven't gone up top hardly off the entire night. The only time we did before, we got it intercepted, but that time the flash running right down the middle of the field on a post pattern, splitting those 2 free safeties. A great throw, but it was decent coverage, enough to knock the ball away.
It'll be 2nd down and 10 yards to go. The ball sitting on the near side hash mark. Blazers headed to the left end of your radio dial, trying to punch in the winning touchdown. 5:45. Blazers trail 24-21. Hatch is in the gun. Biggest game of his life. Looking. Finds a man, Sean Bender at the 45. Can he shake 3? He cannot. He'll be knocked down at the 43-yard line and gets only 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 8. And the man who came up and made the tackle on Bender was Jeff Redcross, the senior defensive end from Huntsville. And boy, we've had one big play after another, and the crowd is on its feet at Cleveland Field, and the Blazers looking at that clock and seeing 5:19 and counting, and a 3-point deficit. Oh, my, these are the games you live for, and 9,148 fans are just soaking it up. 2nd largest crowd in VSU football history. Hatch is in the gun. Man on his left, a man on his right. 3-step drop, looking. Right side, now he comes back left, now over the middle. He's got Greer, and Greer got hit as he caught the ball. Greer got really popped as he caught the ball, and a man who came over and delivered the lick of the game was Robert Haynes. And Greer, oh my, he was looking toward the football, and the football and Haynes arrived at the same time, and Greer takes a tremendous lick at the 28, and nobody's able to hold on to that kind of pass.
Oh, boy. Woo, vicious hit there. Steve Greer, the great thing about that, just got straight up, walked back to the huddle, said, I'm okay, but looking ahead, we got another 4th and 10. Whoa, boy.
We just converted 4th and long just seconds ago. Now with 4:55 to go in the football game, you're trailing 24-21. We ask them to do it again. On your feet at home. Everybody on your feet in Thomasville and Tipton and Madison, Florida and Valdosta, Georgia for the Blazers on 4th and 9. And the Gulf South Conference Championship on the line. And Hatch is going to look, and now he's going to be sacked. He's going to be sacked back down at the 45-yard line. And the man who came in and made the tackle on Chris Hatcher that time was Israel Raybon, and now Valdosta State University has a player down at the 45-yard line, and North Alabama's going to get the football with 4:48 to play in the game.
Yeah, not sure what to have. Just great defense by North Alabama. That's all you can say. Chris Hatcher really nowhere to throw it, and protection finally broke down. We got a Blazer hurt, Mike. I'm not sure who it is. Maybe... Well, I'm not. I have no idea. It's not. I thought it might be York Karinsky, but it's not. So
while they're attending to him, Hal Mummy's out there. We'll take a 60-second network break. This is the Blazer Sports Network.
Prepare yourself for an extraordinary new rotisserie chicken, deeply marinated with herbs and spices, then slowly roasted till golden brown. Is it from KFC? Indeed. The legendary long-lost recipe only at KFC. Taste it and believe. The new Colonel's Rotisserie Gold. At KFC, we do chicken right. Available only at participating KFC restaurants.
Go into almost any supermarket and you'll be able to find chips, snacks, and magazines. Only trouble is you pay full price for them. But not at Winn-Dixie, because we have everyday discounts. All chips are 10% off all the time. Get 10% off all magazines and paperbacks. And check out our discount on school supplies, 20% off every day. Plus, get 40% off greeting cards every day at Winn-Dixie, the low-price leader, proud sponsor of the Valdosta State Blazers.
Still got a Blazer down on the field at the 45-yard line. He's got all kinds of attention down there with 4:48 to go in the football game. On the 4th down play, Hatch looked and looked and looked, but there was nobody home anywhere. Raybon came on. He grabbed him and brought him down. Hatch thought his knee didn't touch him. He tried to scramble out of there, but the official said it did. And it'll be North Alabama football, 45 yards away from punching another one into the end zone. John, do you have a word on who the player is?
Michael, I think it's Sean Bostic. Is the injured player. He's a 6'3", 268 senior from Forsyth, and he's on the field for quite some time, so let's hope that it's not too serious.
We kept pulling for the Blazers, and they converted a 4th down play. They went for it on the fake punt. In fact, they had converted 2 4th down plays on this drive, but on the 3rd 4th down play, this time North Alabama was there to come with the defense, and they held. Well, you got to credit North Alabama with some big plays there. You certainly go back to the 3rd down play where they just had a what's called a dago, a pancake lick on Steve Greer coming across the middle, and you know, that's the kind of plays that a top-ranked team's going to make. They rise up and play on both sides of the ball. So let's hope this Blazer defense can come up with a big stop here somehow, some way. We got to find a way to stop them and get that ball back. He's going to walk off the field under his own power, but Sean Bostic is very wobbly coming off of there. Jim Madalino with his arm around him, helping him off.
Anytime you lose an offensive lineman, it's critical, but it's even more critical when he's your center, and that's what Sean Bostic is. So number 69, Justin Clark, may be in if the Blazers can get the ball back.
Of course, Tommy Clark, who was scheduled to start at center this year, was hurt in the preseason and is being redshirted this year. Here's North Alabama. They want to chew the clock. They give it to Rush off the left side. He dives across and gets to the 40-yard line, and there to hit him is Raz Harvey, and there to hit him is Tony Hill. And the Blazers, Jason Jelks is also there. But now they are concerned most about this clock. The Blazers have 2 timeouts. They can kill the clock twice in the final 4 minutes and a half.
I'll tell you what, Tyrone Rush right there just leaps and hurdles. I mean, this guy reminds you of James Brooks. Back when he played at Warner Robins High School and on at Auburn and then in the pros, just his full speed as soon as he takes that ball, and nothing's going to stop him coming through the middle.
5 on the play clock, and Cody Gross will burn every second of it before the snap. Down to 2, and now he's going to take it right at 1. He goes right side to his fullback, and he's going to be stopped at the 40-yard line, and the Blazers jam him up. It's going to bring up a 3rd down play. Marcus Johnson there. Shea Williams is there. And also there for the Blazers is Tony Hill is there. And that time they went to Kenyatta Jones. And Jones hasn't carried it that much tonight. But that time he wished he hadn't, as he gained maybe a half inch, maybe pushed back a half a yard on the play. It'll be 3rd and 5. And the clock's running at 3:35. And the Blazers with a chance to stop them on 3rd down right here and get the football back. Trailing 21, trailing 24, 21. Here comes the crowd. Here comes the crowd. They're rising up, supporting this defense. You hear them in the background. Over 9,000 at Cleveland Field. Cody Gross is under the center. Got 3 backs set behind him. He's going to pitch it to Rush. Rush at the 45. Can he get outside? No, he cannot. Marcus Johnson pushes Rush out of bounds at the 40-yard line, and it'll be 4th down for Bobby Wallace's North Alabama Lions. Sean, what are they going to do here?
Well, I don't think there's any question they'll punt the football, but I think the biggest thing about that play is not only did we stop him short, we got him out of bounds. That stops the clock, and that saves us 25, 30 seconds, because North Alabama would probably take a delay of the game here and run another 25, 30 seconds off.
Good point. Lee Morris in the punt for North Alabama. Wants a little pooch kick and drive the Blazers, but he's going to kick it pretty good. And it's going to bounce and bounce and bounce, and it's going to work to perfection as they catch it and down it at the 4-yard line. We've already seen the Blazers go 96 yards tonight. Now they have 3 minutes to go 96 yards and take the lead in the football game and win the Gulf South Conference Championship. They have a chance to do that. The task is in front of them. Let's see what Hatch and company have up their sleeves. Pull out all the tricks, pull out all the stops. This is time to do what you're going to do right here, young John.
Yeah, let's also inform you, number 69, Justin Clark, is in the ball game. So Sean Bostic, after being injured, does not return.
Blazers have 3 minutes and 2 timeouts to work with. North Alabama leads the game 24-21. Ball's at the 5-yard line. Motion man is Robert Williams to the opposite side. Hatch pumps once, and he looks down the field out of his own end zone. Going to be knocked up in the air and incomplete. 2:54 to go, and clock stops.
Yeah, once again, we talked about the defensive ends, those bookends, both of them 6'4" in height. Chris Hatcher's only 5'10", so they got up and get a hand there, knock it down.
24-21, second down, 10 yards to go. Blazers 95 yards away from taking a lead in this football game. Dominic Ross is lined up in the end zone. Hatch is under the center. North Alabama jumps a bit but gets back. Hatch with a long snap count. Quickly out right side to Calvin Walker. Walker's going to be knocked down at the 17-yard line, and that should be a Blazer and is a Blazer first down.
Good job there. Good job of recognition. A pre-snap read by Hatcher. He saw he had Calvin Walker on the right side with a lot of cushion over there on the cornerback, so he just zipped it out there on a quick slant, and he picks up 14 yards.
John, the first thing I thought about when he threw it out the right to Calvin was the 90-yard reception, 90-yard touchdown against Central Florida down in the Citrus Bowl. Oh, boy, we'd love to duplicate that. 2:39 to go in the football game. Blazers down 3. Hatch with a deep drop. Got to throw it over the middle. Going to be intercepted at the 30, to the 25, to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, North Alabama. Oh, my, that's a dagger in the heart right there. That is a dagger that just slashed Blazer fans everywhere right in the heart as Ronald McKinnon picks it off, the sophomore from Alabama, and returns it 25 yards for the North Alabama touchdown. 30 points on the board for the visitors, 21 on the board for the home team. And here comes Michael Edwards. Check that, Jamie Stoddard is on to kick the extra point. The hold is down, the kick is up, the flag is down, and the kick is good, but there's a flag down on the play, and they're going to bring them all back over there and see what that one's about. John, it looked like Hatch was trying to find somebody, anybody, and the penalty is against the Blazers. It is declined with 2:27 to go in the game, and the Blazers down 31-21. They got to score 10 points in 2:27. Going to be a tough task here. We'll take a 30-second local break. This is the Blazers Sports Network.
This is Bart Bosch. Oftentimes people get the notion that the only way to get the best deal on a new vehicle is to drive hundreds of miles out of town. Now at Bosch Buick GMC Isuzu, we make this pledge to our customers. We will meet or beat any competitor's price for a new Oldsmobile, Buick, GMC truck, or new Isuzu. Now you can be assured without trips to Jacksonville, Tallahassee, or wherever, you'll get the best deal at Bosch Buick GMC Isuzu on any model, any day, any time. Bosch Buick GMC Isuzu, North Valdosta Road.
Chris Hatcher throws his 4th interception. He had only 5 for the entire year coming in. He was hitting on 70% of his passes. He's thrown 3 touchdown passes tonight to run his total to 35 for the year. But these 4 intercepts, that one was a dagger right there.
Yeah, it was. Again, drops back looking down to the left side, trying to hit, looked like Calvin Walker on about an 18-yard curl. But again, we've said it numerous times tonight. You got to give North Alabama credit. That defense, Ronald McKinnon, those linebackers have really been active tonight in pass coverage. I'm surprised that they have covered as well as they have, but they have just done a tremendous job, and McKinnon takes it the distance.
Here's North Alabama to kick off. Jamie Stoddard. Going to be a high, little short end over end taken at the 30-yard line. And here comes Calvin Walker, 35. trying to cut it back inside at the 40. He's going to be tackled at the 41 in North Alabama. Really a lot of trash talking out there now. The man who made the tackle was Thomas Counts, and the Blazers are going to set up shop 59 yards away from easing a little bit closer in this game, down by 10 points now at 31-21.
Mike, if we can move it here in a hurry, try to get a touchdown, go for 2, then all we need is an onside kick and a field goal to win it. So this thing's not over. We got to hang tough here. Got to find somebody. We got to get a big play from somebody.
I like the sound of that. Blazer fans are still standing on their feet. Here's Hatch with the deep drop and looking and looking and looking. He's going to scramble out of there and find his man Steve Greer at midfield, and Greer's going to catch the football right at the first down marker. So Steve Greer with another big catch, and the Blazers are still alive with 2:08 to go. And they say, is it going to be a first down? They're going to stop the clock and bring the chains out to take a look at it there. As John said, it's 10 points and a chance for the Blazers to get back in this thing. And it is a first down now, they decide. So the clock runs at 2 minutes. And the Blazers, Hatch is in the shotgun. Looking out right side now, he's going to be sacked back at the 40-yard line. They're just teeing off on the young guy right now. And coming in to make the stop that time for North Alabama is Jeff Recross, the defensive tackle. And Hatch is going to be knocked down at the 40-yard line. It'll bring up a second down and 22 yards to go. Hatch is going to give the play to Robert Williams. 96 seconds in the football game. Blazers still have 2 timeouts left. Down by 10 points, 31-21 to the #1 team in the nation. Hatch with a deep drop again. He's got to run out of there. Motion his men around. He's going to throw it down there. It's going to be caught by Reggie Walker to 35, to the 30, to the 28, and a flag is down. Could be a face mask on top of it. Could be a face mask on top of it. Let's see. Big play by Reggie Walker. It'll be a first down Blazers. And Blake Duncan says it's against North Alabama. Face mask, that's what it is. It'll be tacked on top of the play. And Hal Mummy is looking down at his script now, deciding what's going to be the next call. 1:18 to go. And maybe try to stop this clock after they mark it. Well, they're going to have time to call a play here and try to get the ball into the end zone. The penalty, it's going to be an inadvertent face mask, so it'll only be a 5-yard penalty. And it'll be a 1st and 10 Blazers at the 23-yard line of North Alabama. Headed to the left end of your radio dial. Bulls on the far side hash mark, and the Blazers down 10 points.
Hal Mummy just screaming at the top of his lungs to Chris Hatcher. I think he wants a particular play in there, probably one that's different than the script.
Here's Hatch in the gun. Blake Duncan on his right, Reggie Walker on his left. Hatch with a 3-step drop. Looking out left side, he's got Reggie Walker there. It's going to be intercepted by North Alabama at the 3-yard line. North Alabama picks off Chris Hatcher for the 5th time tonight, and that will just about do it. And the man who committed that foul deed that time was Ronald McKinnon again, and boy, hasn't he been a thorn in the sides of Blazer fans everywhere.
Well, I tell you what, just as I said, these linebackers getting so involved in pass coverage, it's really surprising. It tells you what kind of athletes they are, but take your hat off to North Alabama. They have they've come in here with the weight of the #1 ranking on their shoulders, and they've proved worthy of the task. So it's been a great football game.
It certainly has. A classic in every sense of the word. 1st and 10 for North Alabama at their own 2-yard line. And Cody Gross is going to be under the center. He's got his whole backfield lining up in the end zone. He's going to give it up to Satterfield, and Satterfield is going to dive off the right tackle, and he's going to get maybe a yard on the play. And the Blazers, I think, are going to stop the clock in there on the stop for VSU that time. George Parsons is there. John, the Blazers are going to have to just regroup and fly out to Arkansas.
Well, they will, and obviously they felt like you win tonight, you win next week, you're in the playoffs and a lock. Now it's going to be questionable. So hopefully people, the committee will take a look at this ball game, see how close this game really was, and with a big victory next week, maybe we can get into the dance.
Blazers, the best we could be is 8-3, which is a fine record. We got the loss to Central Florida, ranked in the top 20 in 1AA ranks. We got the upset loss at West Georgia, which has really come on, John, with another win today.
Yeah, they're proving they're a pretty good football team, but unfortunately, I think still that you're going to point to that West Georgia loss as the one that might keep us out.
Of course, you got an Albany State there, right? They're still undefeated, and they're ranked high in the rankings. And you got a Carson Newman there.
Yeah, the teams ahead of us, North Alabama, as you said, Hampton is number 3 in the country. They're undefeated in the southern region. Albany State and Carson Newman, and then the Blazers at 18th. So we'll have to, hopefully somebody there can lose a game, and the Blazers could move up.
Cody Gross is going to be under the center. He's going to hand off left side this time, crashing across the 5 to the 7-yard line. He gives it to Satterfield again, and the Blazers are going to burn their last time out. That's the last time the Blazers will be able to stop the clock with 49 seconds in the football game and trailing 31-21.
Well, the Blazers, I think what you gotta tip your hat to them. They haven't quit at all. This defense has played well. They certainly have. North Alabama is going to end up more than likely winning this ball game, but they have been in a war, and this Blazer defense and Mike Major, they deserve a lot of credit because they have made some big plays tonight.
They didn't do anything we thought they wouldn't do except play a lot better pass defense than I thought they would. They pick off Chris Hatcher 5 times.
Well, you're right. We talked to, you talk to people throughout the year. We talked to some of the Mississippi College people. We talked to, and even the Blazer coaching staff, looking at them on film, said, this is a great football team, but we feel like they won't play pass defense. I mean, we feel like we can certainly find some seams, but they just hadn't been there tonight, as evident of the 5 interceptions. And Chris Hatcher's just had a tough night, and the pass rush has been fierce, and the linebackers for North Alabama have just played tremendous pass defense.
North Alabama is going to let that play clock run down now. Chris Hatcher only had 5 interceptions coming in, and he's equal that total in one game tonight. Cody Gross is under the center. It's going to hand off again to Satterfield. Satterfield's going to take it across the 10 to the 11-yard line. He'll be short of the first down. It'll bring up a 4th down play. But the clock continues to run, and the Blazers cannot stop it again. So they may just line up and run that 4th down play and then let it go over. But with the play clock, they'll have a chance to run it right on down to the very end. North Alabama just standing around now, watching the 25, 24, 23, a very somber crowd at Cleveland Field after coming in here as the 2nd largest crowd in VSU history, 9,148 fans. Compliments to Bill England and Herb Reinhardt and all the other people who helped make this a super night, except for the final score on the scoreboard. 5 seconds to go in the football game. The play clock runs out, and they're going to throw the flag and mark off the penalty against North Alabama. When they line up again, they will just stand up there, and Cody Gross will take one snap with 3 seconds to go, and that will be the football game. North Alabama will remain number 1 in the nation. They have one more game left to play. That's against West Georgia next week. West Georgia's coming hard, but I don't think they're coming that hard.
No, I tell you what, because this North Alabama offense is going to be coming a little bit harder. And I mean, they just, and the game is in Florence, and I think North Alabama, they'll focus in enough to win that one, and then they'll, being the number 1 team in the nation, will get a great seed in the playoffs.
Cody Gross is going to be under the center for the final time, and he's going to hand off right side, and Satterfield's going to take it to the 10, and the football game is over. And Bobby Wallace and his North Alabama team deserve a lot of credit. They are, I think, the best college football team we've seen this year. They play well on both sides of the football. They know what's necessary. They do what needs to be done. Final score, North Alabama 31, Valdosta State University 21. We'll take a 90-second local break. This is the Blazer Sports Network.
This is John with Nigel Diamonds Go, and we mean go. It's time to lay away now for Christmas. We have a large selection of Go watches for just $1.99, and we also have a large group of solid gold charm bracelets starting for just $49.99. Also a wide flex herringbone chain, 18 inches in solid gold for just $39.99. No one beats our prices, quality, and selection. Located in Valdosta in the new Walmart Shopping Center, Lake Park, factory stores behind Hardee's in the Pink Building.
This fall, the Framing Workshop has much more in store for everyone. Hello, this is Carla Penny, and all of us invite you in soon to see the fall edition of the Framing Workshop. Come and see our wearable art, T-shirts by Monet, Van Gogh, Raphael, and others, and prints to match for your living room, dorm room, or even your office. We do great framing, too, and the new VSU diplomas look exquisite. Fall in this fall to the Framing Workshop at Barclay Square by the mall.
Unless you're a travel professional, you can't always know all there is to know about airfares, seasonal rates, package tours, and other details behind a successful trip. That's why you should see the travel professionals at South Georgia Travel. South Georgia Travel has served the travel needs of our area since 1964, and we're dedicated to offering the quality travel services you deserve. Call 244-2324 or stop by our offices on Bay Tree Road. It'll be our pleasure to serve you.
The state falls to 7-3 on the year, 4-2 in Gulf South Conference play. North Alabama raises its record to 9-0 overall and 6-0 against Gulf South Conference opponents. Of course, as you know, both these teams have one game left. The Blazers will fly to Henderson State. That'll be next Saturday afternoon. It'll be an afternoon game. John and I will be with you at 2:30, and then 3 o'clock for the kickoff against Henderson State in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. And the Blazers will be flying again, as we did against Delta State. Of course, North Alabama's going to wind it up, as John said, at home in Florence against the West Georgia College Braves, who won again today. I think they've won like 4 games in a row, and it all started when they upset the Blazers on a Saturday night in Carrollton, and that again is going to prove to be a thorn in the Blazers' side, and again may keep the Blazers out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I think so, and it's disappointing, but the main thing is to go back and regroup, and let's make sure we win next week, and let's force that selection committee to have a tough decision to make.
Good point. We'd be 8-3. We beat Henderson State, particularly if we beat them convincingly. A chance for the Blazers maybe to sneak in that back door of the national playoffs. We're going to be back here at Cleveland Field, a rapidly departing group of fans here, a fine group of fans who really cheered on the Blazers tonight. We'll be back after this 90-second local break. This is the Blazers Sports Network.
This is Bart Bosch. Oftentimes people get the notion that the only way to get the best deal on a new vehicle is to drive hundreds of miles out of town.